As Biden prepares to leave the White House, he and his team are finalizing an aid package for Ukraine and new sanctions on Russia. Meanwhile, Trump and his team are working to dismantle the Western alliance. The Times revealed alarming information about the roles played by Trump's team, including criticism of Britain, his closest ally, and France, which is confronting Trump with European opposition should he consider taking control of Greenland. The Russians have encircled the Ukrainian army on multiple fronts, and Chechen forces have managed to defeat the counteroffensive in Kursk entirely. Here are the key details summarized. Stay with us until the end to get the full picture. Although the Biden administration has only a few days left, it is preparing a new set of sanctions against Russia and an aid package for the Ukrainian army. This includes air-to-ground missiles to be launched from F-16 fighter jets. The type of missiles has not been disclosed, but prominent options include JASSM, cruise missiles, similar to the European Storm Shadow, in addition to air defense packages. A Reuters report highlighted that the equipment provided to Ukraine, including Abrams tanks, F-16 fighter jets, and ATACMS missiles, has not played a decisive role in altering the battle's course against the Russians. This was evident with the deployment of Western tanks and the failed attempt to conduct an aerial operation using 12 F-16 aircraft on the Zaporizhzhia front. Similarly, the sanctions have not decisively impacted the confrontations between Russians and Ukrainians. What is certain, however, is that the lack of supplies to Ukraine will have a significant effect. Without aid, the equipment Ukraine currently possesses would only enable it to confront the Russians for a few months. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin, who is holding his final meeting in Germany to coordinate military aid to Ukraine, has been a key figure in organizing the aid flow. According to Politico, his departure with Biden could lead to the collapse of the support group, which would critically impact Ukraine. No official in any European country is willing to take on the responsibility of leading and coordinating Ukraine's aid supply in his place. The Trump administration itself is not enthusiastic about continuing aid. An opinion piece in Politico predicted that the next Ramstein meeting after Austin's departure would be entirely different, as Europeans themselves are reluctant to lead and coordinate the aid file. They may not convene again, given the clear disagreements among Western countries, even before Trump enters the White House. After Trump's statements about annexing Canada, Greenland, and the Panama Canal, European countries have taken a more direct stance against him. Politico reported that France's foreign minister stated the European Union would not allow Trump to annex Greenland and would not tolerate any attacks on its sovereign borders. On the ground, Zelensky and his chief of staff, Syrsky, launched the second counteroffensive in Kursk to achieve significant progress, improve their negotiating position, and stall the Russians, who are nearing the recovery of Kursk. Only about 480 kilometers remain. However, the area they selected for their move was under the control of Chechen forces, who claim to have crushed the counteroffensive. Chechen forces commander, Aladinov, stated that their achievement forced the Ukrainian forces into retreat. Ukrainian forces attempted to support their positions with artillery on the Kursk front, but the Russians continued their counterattacks and advanced across several fronts in southwestern Ukraine. The Ukrainian army is currently deploying reinforcements to prevent the Russians from reclaiming Vremivka. The Russians report that Ukrainian army losses in the Kursk operation exceeded 49,000 soldiers. Ukraine's most trained and equipped formations have been depleted, while the remaining formations are inadequately trained, and many of their members are unwilling to face the Russians. In the south, the Russians have made advances in economically significant areas, such as Shevchenko, rich in lithium deposits. They have also captured extensive agricultural territories and expanded their control across several fronts. In response, the Ukrainian army launched an attack using kamikaze drones within Russia. The Russian air defense intercepted most of them, but some drones reached their targets, including the Crystal factory in Saratov, which houses significant fuel reserves for supporting Russian aviation operations.